everyone, and welcome to the For Fun of Knit podcast. My name is Linda, and I'm coming to you from South Surrey, in just outside of Vancouver, British Columbia. And this is a podcast all about my knitting adventures and misadventures. But today we have a special segment. It's going to be really short because this is the kickoff for the MERRIMINIMAL 2023. So, Susan of Wild Cottage Knitting Ireland and I have been talking about minis and our love of color. And Susan and I met over the YouTube channels a couple years ago as new podcasters. And we have a lot in common, certainly when it comes to loving advents and loving collecting minis and exploring new dyers, which minis allow you to do. And just loving all the different colors that minis come in, and the creativity and the artistry of being able to dye such beautiful colors. And we thought, wouldn't it be fun to encourage people who are like-minded to actually knit with their minis? Because we have curated quite a collection and thought maybe now is a good time to actually do something with those minis. So that's what today is all about. If you're new to the channel, welcome, but this is not your normal podcast. And if you're a returning viewer, you know what this is all about. So welcome to everyone. So today I'm going to go over very few, just two finished objects that actually would work really well as a project for using minis. With that, I should put in a caveat that you can actually create your own minis. So perhaps you aren't a person who buys advents or hasn't collected minis. Absolutely, that makes sense. It's not for everybody. But maybe you've been knitting for a while and you have quite a few leftovers and just are always wondering what you should do with your leftovers. Well, for this make-along, leftovers count on the condition that they're a minimum of 10 grams and a maximum of 25 grams. The reason being is we didn't want to have a make-along that was scrappy, like a scrappy make-along. There's lots of scrappy make-alongs, scrappy socks, scrappy blankets, and so we really wanted to encourage you to play with color and choose patterns with a little bit more meat to them, I guess. But you can certainly skein up your own. This is one that I've done, and I've done several, actually a lot of them, of my own leftovers, and I've skeined them up into 20-gram minis. So they look exactly like the store-bought. That's the store-bought, that's mine. This is just a very plump yarn, but that's kind of what you're looking at. And I love it. So absolutely, these count as minis in our book. 10 to 25 grams, you're golden. It is on the honor system. We have no way of actually measuring that. But again, the spirit of this make-along is so that everybody will use as much color as possible and not just toes and heels of a sock. So that was the intention. So without further ado, let me go over the details. The details are the MERRIMINIMAL 23 runs from August 15th all the way until January 6th, 2024. We wanted to make sure you had plenty of time to sort through your minis and or self-made minis, choose a pattern, and maybe you wanted to knit for the fall or for the Halloween season, and then again cast on something else for the winter season or the festive season. So we wanted to make sure that you could explore as much as you wanted to through that time, and also you might be receiving advents during that time, in which case this is a great make-along to hopefully enable you to get a move on and actually make something with those beautiful yarns that you're going to receive. So other details are that minis are defined as yarn that is a minimum of 10 grams, so that's a 10-gram mini, to a maximum of 25 grams. There you go. So most minis are 20 grams. That's kind of the standard. They're usually between 10 and 20 grams, but we'll go up to 25 grams. So we talked about that. And if you skein up your own, that counts. Bonus. And that your projects, you either want to cast on something brand new that uses minis, or you want to, finish a whip that is currently less than 50% done. And how you enter this make along is by posting your initial cast on or a picture of your whip that is less than 50% complete on Instagram under the hashtag merriminimal23, or on my Ravelry group under the Ravelry thread, under the group thread of merriminimal23, under the For Fun of Knit with 2 T's Ravelry group. If neither of those work for you, make sure that you email me at forthefunofknitvlog, exactly like it sounds, at gmail.com. And we'll make sure that you get entered. Now you only want to make 2 posts. One when you're posting your cast on or your initial whip, and 2 when you've either finished or you're not going to make any more progress. In other words, it's the end, January 6th, you've come to the end. Just post your final, how far you've gotten. You don't need to actually finish your objects. You do need to make some progress, obviously. So again, you want to post when you cast on, or you want to post your whip that's less than 50% done. And then you want to post when it's complete, or at the latest before the end, whatever progress you've made before the end of January 6th. So that's what you want to post, and those are the details of the mini-mal. And if you have any questions, please just email me or DM me on Instagram, and I will happily answer all of those questions. So there are prizes for this wonderful make-along. Again, 2 different dates, as you know. And so for the final January 6th prize, so the end of the make-along, I'm giving away a $50 gift certificate to a Canadian equivalent to a yarn store of your choice. So that's for the North American crew. And Susan is giving a $30 which is pretty much equivalent, $30 gift certificate to a yarn store on the other side of the pond. We're also giving away this Knitter's Pride, and I've just taken it out of the package so I could show you. But I have all the packaging, so that kind of goes on top, and it's wrapped in plastic. But this is the Knitter's Pride interchangeable needle set, and they make, including the cord and the needles, they make a 16-inch circular length cord, and you have 7 knitting needle tips. You have from 3.5 all the way to 6 millimeter, or US size 4 all the way to 10. So that is the knitting needle set. So that will be for the end of the mal, as well as there will be a project bag to be won. So that is to be won. As well as for the November draw, we've got a project bag from Yarn Crate, which has the Kitchener stitch instructions, very valuable. We have a Christmas project bag from I Heart You. I should have said this is also from I Heart You, Laura on Vancouver Island. A very festive Christmas project bag. As well as a Knitter's Pride chart holder. So this is one of those magnetic, so you actually sit it on your table, you put your chart on it, you attach or secure your chart by magnets. I can't pull it off right now, but these are magnets to secure your chart. And this magnet is actually what denotes where you put what line of your chart you're on. It also has a notions pouch and a pen on the other side. So this is one of the prizes as well. There is most probably going to be yarny prizes. We have yet to determine that, but more details on the prizes will come closer to prize date. That is the start of the prizes. So now, what should you make? Well, I'm sure you're full of ideas of what projects would be best for you to make with your beautiful curated stash of colorful minis. For me, I'm just going to share a couple of things, a couple of ideas that might work for you. For example, I finished my meta socks. So this is out of the sock Operation Sock Drawer book. And these are called the meta socks. And it's a mosaic pattern. It's mosaic knitting, cuff down. It is designed as a mini sock. So you're using just for both socks a total of 20 grams of the color and 30 grams of the master color. So perfect option for using minis. I used actually Timber Yarn's Black Tie Unicorn, which is a self-changing yarn, color-changing yarn. But the actual pattern is done in minis, so you have that option. The black that I used is an unnamed, unlabeled BFL, so I don't know, 2-ply. I have no idea what kind of yarn it is, but those are the meta socks. Absolutely love them. Would be perfect for this make-along. Another great option for the make-along is Helen Stewart's Habitation Throw. Now this is her, this was made with Sweet Skein of Mine's Valentine's Day Advent, all in pinks. And it's beautiful, obviously not Christmas, doesn't have to be. It is just made with minis, and it is the perfect project for 10 to 20 gram minis, and you just keep knitting. As many minis as you've got, you can keep knitting. So that is a great option. A great crochet option is this, which is the Scrappy Yarn Blanket by Cinta Gonzalez. And so this is basically 5 or 6 minis held together, except for this part. I cheated, I used a bulky weight, but all of this is minis. Look at the nice, sorry for the crinkle, beautiful colors on the bottom. And those are all my minis that I have grouped together for potential socks. Do you think I have a lot of sock knitting in my future? Absolutely. Another option, if you don't know, and for me, sometimes I just feel like doing something, but I don't know what it is I want to do. So I make granny squares. So I have a selection of granny squares. And so you can consider this less than 50% done, because I don't even know what I'm making with them yet. But I crocheted granny squares of one size and crocheted granny squares of another size. And eventually they might all make a blanket. I don't know. I'm just going to keep crocheting. And yeah, we'll see how that goes. So that's always an option. Another option, sorry for reaching, is Helen Stewart's Anthology Throw. Now, I started this in January of this year using my leftover Christmas sock yarn, which was Cozy Knitter's Bliss Sock Base in the colorway Hygge. Hygge, yes. So this is about, this is a little bit more than 20 grams if I'm not mistaken, but this pattern was actually designed with an advent in mind, and so absolutely would be a good choice for a MERRIMINIMAL project. Perfect. Another great one is this shawl, which is the Stephen West Speckle and Pop shawl. The gray color obviously is your master color, but in the pattern, you're supposed to choose, I do believe, 6 different minis of really bright colors for all the contrasting stripes, the chevron stripes. So that is a great use of minis, and it is a very wearable shawl. Not like his twists and turns, I'm just saying. But that is absolutely, I highly recommend that pattern. Another option, if you don't want to make a garment for the make-along, is make something crafty. I did talk about the Smitten Mittens garland that I was doing in the last video. Each one of the mittens took 5 grams. So each mini could make between 2 and 4 mittens for the 24 mitten garland. So that would absolutely be an option. And here's another option from Imagined Landscape Designs. You could make a gnome. I love these guys. These take a mini, they take 3 minis, basically 2.5 minis, one for the hat, one for the body, and then one partially use a bit of one of the minis for the details. But I made that guy there, and this is my fall gnome, and this particular pattern was Make Gnome Mistake. There you go. So Imagined Landscape Designs has a ton of gnome patterns if you don't feel like making a garment. So all of those things are fair game. So you can make as many projects as you like for the Merry Mini Mal. So just wanted to be inclusive of all things. If you don't have any ideas on what to knit, you can also check out my Ravelry bundle called MERRIMINIMAL under my favorites. So if you go to For the Fun of Knit with 2 T's, you'll find me. Under my favorites, I have a bundle called MERRIMINIMAL23, which has some pattern suggestions. It's by no means inclusive. It's just some of the things that attracted me. You can also check out Susan of Wild Cottage Knitting Ireland. She also has a MERRIMINIMAL bundle. Check hers out. They might be some overlap, but she'll have some different stuff as well. I know I'm going to cast on something. I'm torn between 2 projects. The Vroom shawl, which I wanted to use my Practical Magic Advent, which is sitting right up there, which here's 3 of them just to give you an idea of the colorways. Practical Magic, it's just lovely. It does have some pinks in it as well back there, but it is very fallish and very Halloweenish. And this was a collaboration between Joanna stitching the high notes. She provided a project bag, and Nancy of Trilogy Yarns, who did the Practical Magic colorways. And the Vroom shawl is definitely a costume type of garment to me. To me, it's 100% Halloween. I thought this would be nice for the main color. The main color. This is Sweet Georgia Merino Singles. This is her Bruin colorway, and this is a darker version. I can't remember what that was called. Bear? Grizzly? Can't remember, but this was Bruin. And I thought with these particular Halloween colors, it would be the nice sort of moody offset without being black. You know, I just didn't want something black, but it would definitely be moody. So I kind of like that. That is one option. So whether I make this year or not has yet to be seen. The other option was the Pressed Flowers pullover. Or cardigan, because if I did the pullover, I might steek it. I don't know. And I was thinking about using Legacy Fiber Arts. They're really colorful, and I can't remember, this was a 12-day Christmas Advent last year, along with the navy blue. And so the Pressed Flowers is a DK weight pattern. And this is my Malabrigo. Is this Malabrigo? Yes, it's Malabrigo Dos Tierras in the Paris Night colorway. And I just thought those might be fantastic for a pressed flowers. So my pressed flowers would be like a field of flowers, all different wild flowers, as opposed to one color. And that really appealed to me. And I love navy blue. Look, I'm wearing blue. There you go. So one of those 2 I'm going to cast on in the next day or so. While I cannot win any of the prizes, oh well. That's just something I will I'll have to make a decision on. And finally, what else did I want to say? Oh, so finally, totally off topic, I wanted just to share with you August's sock yarn that Patrick picked out for me. I did open it previously. I just haven't had a chance to actually do anything with it yet. But this is August's yarn colorway from Black Cat Custom Yarns. It's their Blingtron 400 base, which has the stellina, which is just lovely. I think you can see the stellina in there. And it's called Wall of Water. Look at that. And look what I'm wearing. I'm wearing blue. And I just opened this. I honestly just opened it before I podcast. I did not know. So I'm color coordinated with my sock yarn. There you go. I just wanted to put that in there almost as an accountability thing because I am trying to knit all the socks every month. I'm a little behind, but that doesn't matter. I just wanted to make sure I got it out there. So on that note, I think I have covered everything. So that's everything regarding the Merry Minimal. I hope you enjoyed it. If you have any questions, don't forget to email me or direct message me, and I will happily answer them. I hope you are, excited to look at your minis and your or the minis that you have skeined up yourself. To see what you can possibly make and make some headway into using some of that beautiful yarn that sometimes just gets forgotten and just sits there for, quite a bit of time. Anyway, thank you so much for watching, and I will definitely be doing another podcast in the next several weeks, but certainly wanted just to launch the Merry Minimal off with a bit of a kick, and look forward to seeing you all join in and commenting and finding out what you are going to make. Absolutely. Put a comment below and let me know what it is you're planning on making for the Merry Minimal 23. Thanks so much, everybody. Have a nice morning, afternoon, evening, wherever you are, and I'll talk to you very soon. Take care.